It was way last year that the awfulness began for the goober. Mate, it's how it is. I had a whole bunch of experimental videos in mind, and we had to do it on a car that ran and that people wouldn't get too angry about doing something to. It wasn't like a Ferrari Daytona that we're putting Nutella through. But seriously, this car has gone through the business. It was abused with my sister, who had never driven a car before, and this thing's manual. It had its coolant replaced with Pepsi. No worries at all. But the big one, the really big one, was Nutella. Seriously, Nutella's not a good lubricant. I mean, it was mixed with mineral oil, basically making a horrific laxative. But yeah, all the particles just bounded up within like 30 seconds. Boom, that's it. And honestly, that's when the misery began. Any repair shop, you bring a car that's completely locked up, click, 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 nothing from the key, put a breaker bar in it, it's completely sea-solid. You drain the oil and Nutella comes out, you go, congratulations, you have a new artificial reef. Let's decontaminate it and throw it in the ocean. But mate, we got James on staff, and James is a master mechanic. He picked all the Nutella out of it, got all of it out of all the oil galleries, all of it. And look, these were my orders, right? This wasn't James's, but I wanted it to be put together with the gaskets and bits that it had. Those bearings went back in the engine. Or like reusing the head gasket. Just spray it down with more Hylamar. My goodness, we had like 7 or 8 goes on that rocker cover gasket. And then not only that, when it fired up again, we immediately started beating on it. Immediately. I wanted the gore. I wanted to see it die. And this was before the eggnog video, mind you. But gosh, I literally did like 15 hard launches on it again and again and again, relentlessly, and it shrugged it off. And that it had to get immunity. It had to be free from future experiments. It has literally been rotting outside for like 8-something months, doing nothing, just sitting, like one of the worst things you could do to a combustion car. Does it run? You stinker bet you had it does.
All right, well, the Gerber hasn't been started in a little while, so naturally she's gonna be a bit cold. Yeah, mint. Perfect. Gotta put your Gerber belt on. It honestly drives, literally, like it's never had Nutella put through it. It's always been exactly the same. Technically, out of all the cars in the fleet, this is the most reliable one. It's the truth. It really has been through the most, but then has just shrugged it off. It's got its reasons how it pulls that off. But technically speaking, this is like the best chance that if you need wheels, I chuck you the keys to this, it's more likely gonna not fail you. Hey, come on, Gooby, that's it. And keep in mind, this is running on other cars' stale fuel to boot. Like, it never gets fresh fuel. And it's got Pepsi coolant. It's still beepers. I hate that engine flare it does. It's for emissions, right? But the laziest way to do it. It's like, this doesn't shift nice. This doesn't drive nice. It doesn't. It's actually quite infuriating. It's got a little bit of that Tony magic where it's so archaic and terrible, but because of that, it just doesn't stop. It just hits this ground floor that it doesn't get lower than.
What a champion. No, there's not even a leak. Nothing. Dry as a bone. You know, when the head bolts were going on this thing, they were getting looser as it was getting tightened. Those head bolts were trying to snap on a used head gasket. How does it seal? How does it work? I have like 4 Mercedes and none of them work. So I think there are 2 parts as to why this thing survived. And number 1 was we weren't beating on it straight away. We wanted to see just how long it was gonna last on Nutella. Of course it was gonna die. It's Nutella. That's not an industrial lubricant. And so it was barely running, like, and then that's when it bound up, went boonk, and stopped. So it didn't have a lot of momentum to completely rip itself to pieces like the eggnog did.
You know what I mean? Like,
Eggnog had a different story. And number 2 is the Tony Complex. Like, this was Australia's cheapest car in 2009. Tony was the cheapest car in Australia in 1991. Still running on olive oil, no worries at all. Go, Tony, go. That's it. Ah, yeah? Yeah, same old Tony. This is the same recipe, but just a couple of decades later. It's the cheapest car that can meet safety standards, emission standards, and be sold at the price that it is. And because of that, the engine is so simple. Like, you know, if we did this to, I reckon, even a Toyota, anything with variable valve timing, because like the oil changes where the valves want to open and close with the camshaft. Oh, you want to get Nutella out of that? You want to get Nutella out of all those little holes and whatevers? I couldn't believe this thing didn't have variable valve timing. It's as simple as a rock. It's rock and stick engineering. You know, you can't kill a stick. Break it off, now you got 2 sticks. So because of just how simple it is, which also just like, it does drive terrible. It drives worse than a Toyota, but I don't think a modern Toyota could take that. That is proper abuse with that kind of Nutella oil. It still is Pepsi cool and it's still in there. I gotta tip my hat to this thing though. That engineering be solid. Malaysia, you know how to make a solid McNug. I still like how it looks with its gigantic windows, because that gives you headroom to sit in. But then it's Magubular wheels and the tiny wheel arches that go with it. Its DNA is just a cheap little nug. Anytime I see an old Proton in traffic, I now know that that thing's undefeatable. Like, you just can't kill these. Although some things have deteriorated. I mean, this door is just not doing good. And I reckon it's probably a crash repair, you know, because heaps of the used cars I got and friends and brand new situations, man, insurance spec crash repairers suck. They really suck. You might as well use rattle cans, because this is how it comes. This interior's always had this smell to it. It's not bad, but it must be the fabrics and stuff. But I'm very sad to announce the air conditioning has stopped working. And it leaks and it stopped working, which is so depressing. Oh, gosh. People have been asking about the Goober, and the Goober is doing amazing. I can't believe it, right? Seriously, with old fuel in it and just recovering from the nut allergy, it died. This engine died. It seized solid. I'm honestly waiting for those head bolts to back out enough for it to lose compression and let me down at some point. That's where I think the big failure is gonna be. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but all hail the Goober, the most reliable car I own. And that's so depressing, I think I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh, mate. Oi, $1 a month, you can become a member. I mean, that really supports the channel. There's no corporate sponsors here. I have to find ways to fund this channel. It's a $1 a month memberships. And there is Floatplane as well, which is where all my extras go. If you want to know how much content I make, it's a lotta. At $2.80, you can have all of it. I even talk about Jazz Degree stuff, because that's actually what I did. And, you know, James has a channel too, you know.